What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we're all about uncovering the mindset journey. I'm Bro Rhy with my amazing co-host, Ray. I'm Ray. He's Ray. That's right. Either way, you slice the pie. We are episode number 21. Yes, y'all, 21. Come on, we out here doing it 21 weeks strong. And again, we appreciate every single supporter out there, whether you hit us up in the live, on the live feed, whether you drop comments after the fact, dropping us text. Bro, I've been getting a lot of love from not just our UOU mastermind community, but just friends and family in general, and folks who we've been growing. So thank y'all for again supporting us. I know Ray has a bunch of his coaching clients that are always rocking with us. So shout out to all the Breaking Formation family out there that's giving love. Learn the language, y'all. Learn the language. Yeah, learn the language. That's all I got to say. I love everything that you got going on. What's up, Ray? I miss you, bro. Miss you, man. For reals.
Man, hey, for real, like it feels like we haven't had this conversation in years. It's been a couple weeks, and we'll talk through it. But it's when you get into that rhythm, and I'll use the word cadence, so we can jump back into that conversation a little bit later too. But let's get into the cadence of you and I getting together and having conversations, and man, it's just when you have that input throughout the week, throughout what we do on a day to day. I think is that better? Is that better?
You might want to turn it up just a scotch while you get that going.
Yeah.
And while you
How about that?
It's still, well, just keep talking. We'll figure it out.
It's a road to results, man. We just gonna keep driving. See, even when you get off a rhythm on the things that you normally do.
Yep.
The small things, the details that you miss can change the entire experience.
True that.
Is it too early?
We ain't there yet, but no. So again, we're recording this. We do a little differently here at the Road to Results. So number one, we recorded live for our Facebook group and for our YouTube channel. We end up taking it down again in the same day. So if you catch it live, you catch it live. But if not, you catch it on the replay. So one of the things that Ray and I have been doing lately, this has been 2 weeks since we actually record. August 3rd, if we're being exact, the time of this recording, it's August 19th. So we've been MIA on the recording, but we have been, of course, we always stay in contact. Otherwise, text, call. But a lot has been going on. But like you said, when you're not in that rhythm of that weekly rhythm, that daily rhythm, even in not being in all the accountability calls, because I've been on the grind. Your boy's been putting in reps, getting these reps in, and we'll talk about that as well. It definitely makes a difference. But what it did for me, and I'll shoot it back to you, is for me, it made me realize how much more valuable and important it is to stay in community, the community that serves you. Let me just be clear with that. Stay in the community that serves you. Because I was thinking about like exercise in the gym, and there'll be a lot of times people join gyms, like CrossFit gyms are super, popular, and just all these different types of gyms. And you can keep going to the gym every single day and show up faithfully, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get results. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to get, the results you want. And sometimes I've seen it where folks are in the gym faithfully and they're actually going the opposite direction when it comes to their health. They're showing up, but it's opposite. So it reminded me, like, this community, our UOU mastermind community, has been one of those communities where, like, if you keep showing up, you're going to continue to yield the results in all areas: business, professional, spiritual, financial, relationally. So yeah, I mean, how do you, again, 2 weeks, bro, since we've actually been on this. So we just talk about that.
Nah, bro, it's man, am I still good? I don't see any movement. It's starting to bother me. Am I increasing in my ATC? Am I starting to pay attention to details? I'm like, this thing's not moving. That's not right. I'm like, bam.
I will say your volume hasn't changed. It's still the same.
Let's check this out.
Bam. And again, for all of our users out there, please, if you see in the link there, click on the eCam link so that we can share your beautiful profile picture and share who you are. Yes, the daily rhythm keeps us in line for the day. Shout out Mike Haney. Yeah. Let's go, Mike. Represent the HVAC guru. Now we got echo. So Ray is figuring out the tech, but it's good. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. So 2 weeks is since we've been on this live recording, but again, staying in contact. And I'm back home. At the time of this recording, I just got back to Greenville. I was out for 2 weeks. Are you ready? You back?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You crispy now. You crispy.
Am I good?
Yeah, you crispy.
Ooh,
crispy.
Don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. Don't give
crispy.
up.
There we go. There we go.
Yo, what's up, Mike? What's up, Mitch? What's up, Kathy? If you're listening, man.
Yeah. The Haneys.
Nah, dude, man. It's it's one thing where in the beginning, man, it's it's uncomfortable when you start like building those new habits. When you start building the new rhythm, the things that you want, and I'm sure you do it. Because you and I talked to one another about it. But even talking to coaching clients or whoever, like, hey, they're like, I want to do this. I'm like, okay. Like the first thing, like, what is your what is your routine look like? What is it, Mitch? What is your cadence look like? What does it sound like? Are we on rhythm? Are we on pace? Like, are we doing the things necessary that are going to get us to where we want to go? And you start creating the rhythm of things that you do normally, and when it doesn't happen, it's just like in the beginning it's uncomfortable, and then when you get into it, it feels good, and then when you get out of it, it feels uncomfortable. So like even when you're talking about the gym, bro, when I don't go to the gym for a few days, like I feel uncomfortable. Like I start to hurt. So even with this, I'm like, like me and Ryan haven't talked. Like we've texted back and forth because both of us just, you were on a good sprint, and I was doing a couple things, but like I was like, this just feels off. Like even right now, like we recording on a Saturday.
Facts.
But hey, when that happens. Make the adjustments.
Yeah, make the adjustments. And I'm gonna throw this in there. What it's done for me, the UOU Mastermind, even our folks who aren't part of the Mastermind, but that are part of the R2R family in the Facebook and the YouTube, and not having that interaction. Because I didn't even think about it when you posted the other week. Hey y'all, Rhy's on the road. I'm on the way to Michigan. No live recording today. It just made me realize, wow, like okay, this is obviously, we've always say it's bigger than us, but the word that really comes up for me is appreciation. Right, this makes me really appreciate the times that we do have every week, the times that we do have with our audience on the Facebook or the YouTube group, the times that we do have with, the mastermind. And I love what E said a long time ago when he talked about accountability. He was like, I don't want y'all to turn into accountability junkies. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to catch that. I don't want y'all to just be a junkie to just showing up and being accountable with a group of people. More importantly, I wanted to have a purpose, and I want to be intentional with that. And so something from being away for these 2 weeks, although like the road to results, like, bro, we got some results. These last 2 weeks, again, we'll jump into that in a minute, but appreciating the times that we do have, that we have been putting aside, appreciating the opportunity to just pour back into the communities that pour into us has been something that it's been big on my heart. Like I appreciate every single opportunity, every single person, every single post, comment of support, questions, curiosity for the R2R fan, for me and you. And I'm realizing more and more like it's a Ryan Ray situation. I was getting messages, folks up in Michigan were like, hey, we missing that FA energy right now. We got Ray holding it down, but we know you doing your thing, but we looking for some Ryan Ray. I was like, man, I feel it.
Hey, so E was doing why am I forgetting? What do we call it? When he goes to Atlanta, the ones who
forward, yep.
Yeah, so he was doing forward, and I mean, this is that where you start looking at things like, okay, like I want to do this, like I want to live this type of life. I'm like, bro, like you were in Atlanta, you went up there, gave a message. I'm sure there's a couple other things that he had to do, and then Saturday evening was like the extreme execution like meet and greet over at APOC, and like everybody, they're doing game night. They're in the auditorium. Me and my pilot, man, I was like, yeah, okay, this ain't my energy. So I was out chilling in the atrium with talking with Zir, Morgan, a few other people, and then E came in. You know, everybody. I think the game was over. I think Charles had smashed everybody on Uno or whatever. So
Shout out to
everybody's
Charles
out
Cherry
mingling.
Jr., baby.
So E came out, man, and he was just be talking to people, and I was, it's crazy, man, because you can see, and there's no shot at anybody like that, but you can start to see the comfortability of people that are in the cohort. Yo, E showed up and it was like, yo, Sonny, I was, like it's no big deal no more because like it's truly part of the community. Like we're actually in that part, and I finished up and I was walking over just to say what's up to E, and he's like, he come with that FA energy. He's like, yo, what's up, Ray? What's up, Ray? My dude, what's up? And he's like, man, it's weird. He's like, it's weird to see you without Rhy.
Hey, come on, feel me? Hey, that's real talk. And even when we shot, like he shouts us out, he like Ray, right? Like it goes hand in hand because of again the collective impact. Let's use that word, y'all. Collective impact. That might be the title of this episode. Collective impact that we bring, and just to speak to that piece around like just how casual it is now when we see ET, right? It goes back to what we said. Get off the hype train. Once you get off the hype train and realize there's work to do, roll up the sleeves and get to work. And I just want to share this piece. When I was thinking about when you said that, 21 weeks in, all right, y'all, this is week 21 of the episode of podcast. Ray and I's mindset is not, oh snap, that's E, let me ask a question, or let me share how he changed my life, which is again not knocking because been there, done that. But 21 weeks in this mastermind, now we're in that collaborative spirit of, hey, how can we help, or what can we do together? Because I know you're on a bunch of projects with E. You're on a bunch of projects with ETA. I've collaborated on some projects with E's other programs, and folks connected to ETA. So now 21 weeks in, you start realizing what you'll realize, that there actually is work to be done collectively. And you start seeing E's mindset is like, I want this to be it's collective impact. He's like, collectively, everything is already here in this group. All we have to do is refine it. All we have to do is get more clarity on it. All we have to do is get some reps in, because he was already saying, some of y'all I'm doing business with already. I already know. And he was like, the rest of y'all, we just gotta go ahead, bro. He's like, the rest of y'all, we just gonna have to really, let me go ahead and switch this up. He's like, the rest of y'all, it's just gonna take some time. And that's something that I really appreciated, was like, you see more and more, not only do you have a leader and a mentor and a friend who pours into you, but he also sees the value that you bring, and he's figuring out a way of how to make part of his world and your world become one. Who does that? You're not going to go see a lot of these, well-known celebrity motivational speaker types coming out there talking about, let's get your organization, your business, let's get your crew, and let's put something together. I mean, for real, let's just pause for a moment. Let's do that LDH pause. How many of us really can say a Tony Robbins, a John C. Maxwell, whoever it is, again, without the upsell, okay? And I think that's really the key here. Without the upsell, is that they see something so great in you, they see the potential, and they're wanting to not only just bring that out, but find a way to work together. So 21 weeks in this mastermind, mindset is already shifted. The business mindset is already shifted. We talking Reach Academy agency. We ain't even on just bring me to come do some reach. We reaching out to communities, and we building an agency for people to be their most authentic selves, right? It's authentic reach, authentic leadership. Going to keep it plain and simple. What is Reach FTIO? Reach from the inside out. All right, that's the next chapter. This is a program. Reach Academy is a program within the umbrella of Reach FTIO, authentic reach, authentic leadership. That's it. And when you can do that, and when you could be your best version of yourself, your most authentic self to those you serve, to your family, your friends, your coworkers, those you lead, those you shepherd, it's a wrap. But anyways, y'all, and then this is a product of being in proximity to amazing folks like E.T., amazing folks like Ray Jones, amazing folks like Mike Haney, Kathy Haney, all right, amazing folks like all the squad. So anyways, bro, you get me hyped up. See, that's the energy is different.
Hey, there it is.
Everything good with Van? What's
there
up?
It is. Yeah. No, man, it is, man. It's like and it's like that collaborative, like service. Like I don't even say like ever like that collaborative service, because everything I see Mike right there said, it's like nothing we've ever experienced before. Man, when we first joined, the whole promise wasn't that we would be able to be like talking to E like daily, or I mean, even if it's like 3 times a week, like that wasn't the promise. It was like, they're gonna run, this many things, and we'll have our coaching sessions. I think we just had the 4 efforts, like going to spiritual, personal, relationship, and business. And it's like, E's gonna run 2 of those. Like, okay, cool. We can get to talk to E twice a month. Man, he's on these accountability calls, and then he's bringing in Mignon. Yo, shout out to Mignon. She's actually, but it's like you see that, like Mignon was on the UOU summit. When Q2 came in. Shout out to the Haynes, love y'all, man. Like when they came in, but she was just like, okay, she did an interview and a video, bro. She was at our mastermind, and now she's jumping on our Mondays with Mignon. And bro, now she's like, she saw the value of a community when we were out there, talking and chopping it up and showing love in Atlanta. Bro, she's at APOC today.
That's right. She's featured at APOC.
Like she's
today.
in the ministry. Bro, all that is service, man. It's like, that's just what we do. It's like continue to offer some level of service. So you say reach from the inside out, like from the inside, know who you are. Okay. Hey, okay. Extreme execution.
Come on. You with me? Hey, you there.
Hey, know who you are, and then bring it out and give it to the world.
FTIO.
Your gift is not a gift unless you give it away.
That's it.
Hey,
and here's a cool thing, right? Yeah, I love it. No, and here's because why? At the end of the day, when we do that, we're breaking formation. Come on, let's drop that mic. Come on, this is the 1-2 punch.
And in turn, if you go ahead and you start breaking out from the way things are done, break formation's foundation, Romans 12, to be not conformed to the ways of the world, but the renewing of your mind. When you realize the renewing of your mind starts from the inside, and when you start bringing it out, you can start getting on that road to get those results that you want. That is the journey.
That's the journey. That's the journey.
Yeah.
And let me just, something I noticed too. and we sharing it with y'all like we have no problem pouring in. But what's crazy is this. What's crazy is that think about Mignon Francois. So if you don't know her and y'all are just rocking with us, check her out. She was just featured on Good Morning America, where she just had $5 left to her name. Now she's a millionaire. Cupcake empire. Crazy part was she didn't even like cupcakes, but she needed to do something to break cycles for her family. She really dug from the inside and took it out into the world. But here's what I love about the story and the connection. Again, collaborative impact. Is that she's made her impact on the world in the cupcake industry, in the baking industry, and like she's getting all, she's definitely doing what God is calling her to do. However, she reached out to E, and E was like, she wants to learn more of the craft of engaging, of speaking. She wants to get more into the community aspect of it. So yeah, we have her every Mondays. And then just the fact that she wants to continue to grow in this way, specifically with E and ETA, that's impact, y'all. When you have people who, it's not about the money. We know, like, she's not coming to ET for money, like to make more money. She has realized that her gift to the world, or by the way, like what she's doing with her business, was just step one. And to really help others and bring them out, that collective impact. Now she's like, okay, I gotta learn how to reach. I gotta learn how to reach a little bit more. I gotta learn how to reach my audience. I want to learn how to take everything out, curate it, put it together, and figure out a way to build that legacy. So a lot of folks, Wall Street Trap, another one. If you checked out Wall Street Trap's podcast with Mike Rashid, I just listened to it on my drive to San Diego. Check that podcast out. He talks about his experience with E and how he even got in with E. And I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say his name has been coming to ET for like at least since 2014. And it wasn't until, just a couple years ago where he started messing with Trap. And then now Trap is like, yo, that's big, bro. I got so much to learn. I wouldn't be speaking. I wouldn't be traveling. I wouldn't be speaking in prisons. I wouldn't know who I am with the gift that I have in this way if it wasn't for E. So again, Wall Street trap. He's not coming for the money. He's not coming for the bag. So when you have people coming to E who have what most of us originally kind of started for, because we want a better life for our family, we want some resources, we want a business, or we want to grow financially, all those things, people are even coming from the other side who have the bag and are like, no, I just need to grow in my speaking, in character, in faith, whatever it is, like all the different pillars that we've all been growing in. So it's just kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, man. And you see that commonality right there through those levels, those individuals. I mean, everybody, you know, whether you do or whether you don't know Mignon, whether you know or you've never heard of Wall Street Trapper, I mean, if you talk to anybody in those spaces, they know who they are. But what doesn't stop is the growth. And that's why I think it was so important for us to, you know, name this or subtitle this the mindset journey. Because they realized that where they wasn't necessarily where they were trying to go. They got there and it's like, okay, yo, this is fire, but there's more. So how do I get there? So this is where we talk about like community and collaboration. Like you're gonna be around people that show you that, hey, like I can do so much more, I can get so much more. I just have to be willing to grow. Like where I'm at, as dope as I may think it is, as dope as everybody else may think it is, like this is not the end state, and it's like just continue to collaborate. And we talk about, you know, Rhy and Ray and Rhy, whoever, man, and I love that because, like I said, like he was like, yo, it's weird to see you without Rhy. Like it's weird to see you without him. Just when you say Rhy, you think of Ray. When you say Ray, you think of Rhy. And then you start getting people, like I said, people, you know, outside the community, inside the community, being at the mastermind, bro. Like people were like, whether if we hadn't met them in person, there's a couple of the Velezes, you know, they were there, and they was like, yo, like, hey man, we love, like we've been binging y'all's podcast, like, yo, we love it. Where's Rhy at? Or I think they were like, yo, where's Ray at? Like, or I just love what y'all doing. Ray's always smiling. I'm standing right there like, yo, I didn't have my shirt on because my shirt, you know, on the back, you know.
Come on.
Hey, so like that was part of the plan though. It was like the idea when I made these shirts was like eventually you're just gonna be like, okay, you're Ray, you're as on you know, I'm Ray. That's right.
That's right. Either way you.
But the whole point, the whole point is like, yo, they're like, yo, we love the podcast, like we love the energy, we love what y'all talking about, and then literally having some questions, and then someone else hit me. I was like, yo, hey, is it you or is it which one of y'all does the SEO work? I'm like, that's Rhy. He's actually doing it right now. Like, can you put me in contact?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but
come on.
But I'm not just gonna give you his
just to get on that train too. Like I'm in Cali, and people are like, "Hey man, I've been listening to your podcast." Just random folks. I've been back in my old neighborhood, Vallejo, Fairfield, Vacaville area. I'm going to church, and man, I was at church. I just want to be low key. Like let me get my Jesus, and just be cool. 10 o'clock mass, and then a couple of heads saw me, and they're like, "Oh, give me a break," because I it ain't about announcing. I'm just like, let me get my worship on. And all of a sudden, man, announcements at the end of mass. Virgil, one of our head like project managers, he oversees everything. He made an announcement talking about all the events coming up. And by the way, we got a special guest who used to be our youth minister here for the last 10 years, youth director. Ryan, will you please stand up? I was like, oh man, this guy, like I'm just trying to be low key. But folks came up to me after, was like, hey, it was great to see you. We wish you would be, we wish and hope and pray that you would come back, but we know you got a plan. We got a mission. Your podcast, by the way, I love what you're doing. The person that you're with, I'm really curious and wanting to learn more how he left the military. Because again, Fairfield is a military base. Yeah, Travis is right there. And so folks are like, oh yeah, I mean, he went from being retired to in 2 or 3 years, almost 40 plus properties in the portfolio. Military to millionaire.
I haven't even been retired for a year.
Oh, not even a year. But I said you've been in the program. You started learning prior to that. But so I said and that's what I said. If you want to learn the language, I know a guy.
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
again, back to what you said of like, we can be in different industries, have the same common denominator. Ultimately, me and you are both going for that same retirement plan up
Yeah.
top, like, but the vehicle's different.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, you know. I said, like, we talked about it back in Michigan. We said the road to results is gonna have to be some. It's gonna be something as we go. There's gonna
Yeah.
be some kind of
Yeah.
incorporation happening pretty soon. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
gonna
nah,
have
man,
to be. It's
it's
gonna have to be
beautiful.
because I see Mitch asking when, hey, if y'all want a shirt or if you want us to put these shirts up, hey,
We'll figure something out.
just give
We'll
me
figure something out.
give me a little just cause I want give me a little muscle emoji in the chat. Give me a little
Drop a muscle
in the
emoji
chat.
if you want the muscle too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we'll get you
Oh
a
man,
medium. We'll get you a
the
medium out there
the
soon.
medium. So
And if y'all watching this later, go ahead and put it in the comments if you want to, because it's yeah, we're gonna have to put up, start working on that piece, like you said, getting incorporated, start putting some up, get the merch opportunities. That'll give us opportunities to grow, this on the business side of things. Because Ryan and I, we talked about it individually. Like, there's going to be a point in time where he and we're going to be traveling to make sure that we're recording these live
together,
so whether
in one room.
together. So
Yeah,
whether
on the
that's
road, right?
be,
Like that's the whole point.
on the road.
And just know, if for reals, y'all, and we just say this with love, please. We love the support. We're not out here going to be making bread off t-shirts. However, I mean, we could, but that's not the goal. But just know that if you are rocking the R2R brand, it really is you saying, hey, I'm on my road to my results. Yeah. Right? Like we got two brothers here, Ray and Rhy, been supporting us, and we rock this because we support them. But more importantly, I'm on my road to my results. And that's what we want people, when they rock this gear, it's like, we want you to know you are on your road. You're on your road to results. Individually, you're on your own road, but collectively, we all on our own. We doing it together. We side by side. So for those of you who are definitely interested, I love the fact that people support, but I want to be intentional with what it really means for those who are even rocking it. So yeah, we appreciate.
Let's talk about that piece too. I mean, that's literally part of the mindset that. When I started buying S2S gear, grind gear and all that stuff, and even I've got a few shirts from other efforts, like I got one that says impact over everything. That's not grind gear, but it's like I started wearing that stuff, and then once I found my own brand, like I started wearing that. But when I come across a mirror or somebody else, it's like, yo, I like that shirt. For me, it's like an affirmation of the things that I want for myself. So. Like, brother, there was a time like I just wore nothing but Under Armour, like just all the time. The gym attire has always been the thing, but now it's like, okay, I'm wearing things that mean something to me. It's a reminder to me, and people ask questions. What is that? Hey, does your QR code work on the back? I don't know. Try it. I mean, I know it works, but I don't know. Try it. Like I forgot it was back there. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But I have people all the time. Oh, what's up, Ray? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's on my shirt. Or even when I'm wearing my, breaking formation, on the back it says, "What's your exit strategy?" And people are like, "What's your exit strategy?" I go from life, from business, from this relationship, from this conversation. What's up?
Yeah. Another, hey, they reminded me of, like, I was wearing Danielle's EXP shirt because I be representing her out here, and on the back it says buying or selling, and it says scan the code. And I'm playing ball. One of the dudes is like, "What you buying? What you selling?" I was like, what? and we were playing basketball, so I thought like, it was a basketball related thing. Like, am I selling this dude threes? Am I crossing this dude up? But no, when he finally, the third time he said it, he said, "No, your shirt, it says buying or selling." I was like, my fault. Like, that's my wife's real estate company, man. Yeah. So, but intentionality, and he used to say that all the time. He'd be like, "I wear these shirts for me. I need to remind myself every single day when I want to succeed as bad as I want to breathe, then I'll be successful." Yeah. He was like, "I'm not wearing this for y'all. I'm wearing this for me." And when he said that years ago, when it came to like the messages that he wears, and so yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you 1,000% that there's intentionality behind what we do, and if you know us and you rock with us, or you get to know us, you start seeing more and more why Ray and I continue to be intentional with branding, marketing, whatever you want to call it. But we just know, right? Like we're out here doing this. So yeah, man, let's jump into this. Let's see where we at. Yeah, we're about half an hour in. We're gonna be again we're gonna be going live a couple times this week just so that we can make sure we're staying on track, staying ahead. We have 17 episodes that are already live, so be sure to check out those 17 episodes. This is 21, so we're usually about 4 ahead. We're 4 ahead in the pack. So where do you want to start, bro? It's been 2 weeks. Wins, lessons, is specific. I mean, I definitely want to jump into the EE Extreme Execution Weekend. Your takeaways, because I was there a year ago, so I can only imagine what it was like. But if there's anything else business wise you want to update us on, let's go there, man. Let's talk about some results.
Well, I mean the webinar that I did, man, it was super. Like, I want to let y'all know, like, it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't something I really wanted to do. But like you were saying, even with Mignon, like, she don't even like cupcakes. It didn't stop her from building a multi-million-dollar empire and being the #1 cupcake distributor in Georgia.
Hold on, real quick, just so we don't get in trouble. It's not she didn't like cupcakes; she didn't know how to bake.
Okay.
So Mignon, okay, when you hear this, well, that's what we meant. We know you said you didn't know how to bake. She might love cupcakes, though. All right, I don't know. We love you, Mignon.
We'll translate that. I don't like real estate. Okay. And I actually wanted to change that verbiage for myself. I don't enjoy real estate. We'll say that. But and it's like, so I didn't want to teach on it. I didn't want to do that thing. I didn't really want to talk. Other than if I'm just answering a couple questions for some people. But the Haney's gave me some feedback, and this is why it's always good to be like in community with people that are honest with you, that understand where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, because they may be in a different industry, but the effort and the goal is the same. Like, we want to grow, we want to continue to have impact. There's a certain personal thing that we want to have, for our life. And they gave me some feedback on it that just kind of like, all right, man, well, I guess I'm going to continue doing these webinars. So I wouldn't have embraced it as much. I feel like I'm embracing the concept a lot more of continuing to grow and doing these, I don't know if you want to call them consulting, mentoring webinars to help people fully understand the language of real estate investing so they can start their own. If it hadn't been for me doing that and someone actually giving me some feedback at the end of something that had to be structured a little bit. So that was one. That was definitely a win. And I'll continue to do those. I'm going to do those. I figure I'm going to do them twice a month. I'm going to do one on the language, and the other one I'm just going to do, hey, let's just walk through. Like, let's just go from when we're looking and assessing to when we're actually done with the rehab and the refinance piece on the back end. Like, let's just walk that whole in process and in order so that y'all can clearly see, and and they know, like, hey, just stop. You got questions? Like, let's just stop and let's just talk about these, whatever it is that you got. Like, let's go. So I'm going to do that probably twice a month for the foreseeable future. One, to keep me fresh. Two, to answer questions, see what the true gaps are in people's understanding and what they need to do. So that was, man, that's why I was like, yeah, we haven't talked in a minute. Like, I was like, yeah, that's like 12 days ago. I don't know what it's today. I don't even know today, but we don't have to say the date. But so 2 weeks ago. But that, and then leading up to, getting ready to do Extreme Execution, and then working with our brother Karl Wesley Phillips' book dropped. His book came out, binge that, and then based off our conversations, again, being in community, serving, offering. That conversation with Karl started with him asking about my real estate journey when we were in Atlanta. That's that conversation. And then I started just looking, I was like, okay, brother, hey. And I told him when we were in Mexico, bro, I'm going to do something for you. I don't know what, because I know you're not going to ask, but, how can I serve you? How can I help you? And when we were in Atlanta, I was like, bro, do you have a pilot? He was like, I was like one that is for you. He was like, nah. Like, all right, you do now. I got you. We gonna figure this out. Let me find out what you want. So then listening to his book, and I told him then what he announced this weekend and what he announced on the podcast. I told him then we're gonna do this, and he's like, I don't really know if that's for me. And I go, well, yeah, exactly. It's not for you. A gift is not a gift unless you give it away. So this thing is not for you, but in turn, it'll reciprocate the thing that you need and the thing that you want.
Yeah, he used the word. He used the word on the podcast, the last episode, y'all. It's called, I think, Pre-Check. He talked about how, when he was talking about the event that that y'all are putting together, just put that out there, that y'all are putting together, he was just like, man, how many, and this is for all of us, all right, this is messages for all of us. How many people have I disserved because of me being selfish and keeping my stuff and my story to myself? How many people, and now he goes, man, I've been selfish. Now, again, when I think about in the context of what he's saying is, y'all, everybody's going through some or gone through some, but sharing it. Now, this is the key, and this is the difference. All right, this doesn't mean like just start blabbering out and just sharing everything, uncut, real, long-winded, 45-minute long-form videos. It might start like that. But what we're learning now through this process is, yes, you have a specific lived experience that people can relate to. How you serve it to them, how they take it in, how they process it, how they apply it, that's going to be the difference maker in whether or not your message, your story is going to get lived out. As we learned in Extreme Execution, 4 different learning styles, 4 different personality styles. So can you reach all the different styles in the ways that you're doing it? So just to go back to what you were saying, bro, it's like, do you have a pilot? Do you have someone that's going to fly this message out into the world in the way it needs to be? And because you are also a great, you're strategic, bro, like it's magic. So I just want to make sure we caught that, y'all. Karl was like, we're going to, I've been selfish for almost 43 years of my life. I mean, of course, you're not going to write a book at one. But how many of us do have something, we want to share it, but just don't necessarily know how, number one. And then also ultimately, like, curating it. We got to curate it. I think that's a huge piece right now that I'm in. And then just to kind of give a little brief snapshot of what's happening on this end. So Reach Academy, realizing what the big picture is. I'm going to roll out I call my reverse 42. All right. My reverse Kobe year. All right. Because I'm turning 42 this month. My reverse Kobe year going into 24. All right. So for 2024, I'm going to start off, not necessarily conservative, but managing my energy. And this is what I learned over the last 2 weeks. I've stepped into my speaking, my training, my ability to serve. The posture of my heart, the posture of my physical, the posture of my mindset has been different. I've been doing this work since 2014. Being able to speak, I've did retreats. I've done it all. Like these last 2 weeks, I've been working with police officers, connecting police officers and kids from the community that they serve. It was a special narcotics unit that are, dealing with the drug dealers and dealing with all the hard stuff in the community. They took kids from that same community and wanted to build bridges and create opportunities. And it was powerful. Imagine officers real tough in the beginning because that's just their stature, and then towards the end of the retreat in Tahoe, they had nicknames for each other. They were being more playful, they got to see different sides of each other, so it's beautiful. And then doing staff retreats, done that plenty of times through and through. Last year doing it with the assessment, speaking to youth K through 8, did that on Thursday. So it wasn't necessarily anything new in terms of the work that I'm doing, but the difference is, here's the difference. Before I was just coming just to speak, and it was super transactional. Joined Game Changers and Extreme Execution in 2022. Now it became, there's actually more that we can do off stage after I come and speak. Let's build that. And now in phase 3 with the UOU Mastermind, we want to create a lifetime relationship. I'm actually doing a program so I can walk with you at scale, so I don't have to be the one. And matter of fact, I'm going to have a team that's going to walk with you, that are going to help with accountability, clarifying things on the assessment. So now I can be in a space for 2024. So I told them I got 2 cohorts coming up, Q1 and Q3. 8-week cohorts, Reach Academy. Again, it's an 8-week program. And then in between Q2 and Q4 are my preparation, my campaigns, and then also my ability to travel and speak. So now we got a strategy so that it's not just cohort. Like now we're gonna roll, like we're gonna really build up a campaign. Black Friday is gonna start the campaign for Q1. And then I'm doing monthly webinars, same thing, right? Like, so just to kind of speak to what you're saying, like the strategy to build the relationship and the lifetime value is what 2023, 24 is what UOU Mastermind is doing, because it's all leading to this. It's all leading to reach. It's not me anymore. I'm going out, I'm getting attention, but who's doing the retention? And that's my biggest motto. I can get your kids' attention. I can get your staff's attention. I can get your youth minister's attention, but who's doing the retention? And guess what? I got a program where we can walk together, your leaders from your community, so we can increase that reach. Authentic reach, authentic leadership. My bad. I've been all over. You got 2 weeks, bro. It's been 2 weeks, and we're like, let's go. Let's go.
It sounds like you have an exit strategy.
Come on, hey, just say we breaking formation. We breaking formation, fam.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I was like, I wanted to go back to the beginning, sort of you like the whole part of like by you not sharing the message, or you not curating, or you not delivering all that piece. You know, one of the things that Karl asked me when we were in Atlanta, and I said, "Y'all, I'm gonna be your pilot. I'm gonna help you. We gonna do this." And he's like, I'll pray about it." You know my response to that. I was like, "No, we doing it." And he's
we
like,
doing it.
Pray about it. I said, "We doing it." So, faith without works is dead. We about to do this work. We about to do in your Q2 and Q4. We're about to do the prep work. And that prep work is just putting you in position so that you can do the work. But he goes, and this is where some of y'all are being you're so humble that you don't get the things that you want and deserve. Because he said, "Why me?" I was like, "Karl, bro, you are so dope. Bro, you've done so much." Like, he's literally the only person at each conference that I wanted to take a picture with. A Phenomenal Life 2022, I didn't take a picture with you. I was like, "Bro, thank you, appreciate it. Love what you do. Enjoy." Same thing with Jamal. Someone had to force me to take a picture with him, and it wasn't even just me and him. It was me and Kiale. So me and him took a picture with him. But I was like, I wasn't trying to take a picture with nobody. The only person I actually asked, and I saw him, I got excited. I was like, Karl. So Karl there, then at ManCon 360, and then at 120, and then Make Real Estate Real. I was like, Karl, let me get a picture with you, bro.
Can you pause right there? And can you just share the mindset behind that though? Like, what was it for you that was really more wanting or eager to like connect with Karl and capturing that memory versus like E and Maul? Again, like you said, it's not no shade, nothing like that. But could you take us through that?
Because he was on the podcast from the get-go, from the start. And if you paid attention, if you watched and you listened, if you just went back, say 100 episodes or so, you can see his growth. You can literally see him applying the things that they're speaking on. Not to say that, CJ and E and them weren't making the adjustments, but you can see Karl's literal growth through it. And I just thought that, I was like, man, this is just so, that excited me. Because now it's like, he's dropping absolute nuggets, like just even his book, like just all this stuff, like, and he never saw it because he was coming from that space of serving. I'm just serving, and it's natural for him to serve. And I saw it, man, and it's crazy to say that, and to say that, and I don't want to jump ahead, but to say that piece and then to see where it came from, because I was at his house Friday for about 5 hours. I had dinner with him and his family. His mom made some fresh strawberry lemonade. They made dinner, man. We had Friday night worship and game night. Bro, I was there until I was supposed to be on for a live lecture for my master's at 8 o'clock. Man, I was at the house until 10. I was but you can just see at every level in their house of his parents, his mom, and I was getting ready to leave so they can enjoy their night. And then she was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm gonna let y'all enjoy your family." And she's like, "No, your family in this house now. So you stay and then they're making smoothies and like, do you want a smoothie? Like at every level, his dad made some fresh bread, gave me a couple slices of fresh bread. Tamisha, his wife, shout out to Tamisha, like she made some smoothies, she made some some wraps for us just to sit there while me and Karl just in there chopping it. So like I see why he's such a servant, because it is literally the culture of his family. And from just a true, so seeing that full lens of it, and we were there, and if y'all don't know and you haven't heard it yet, we were just talking about everything, and he just looks at me, he goes December 8th and 9th, and I was like, what about it? And he's like, I'm giving you the dates, December 8th and 9th. So that's when his conference is happening. I looked at my calendar, I go, that's a Friday and a Saturday. I go, did you look at the calendar? He goes, no. He goes, God just put it on my spirit, December 8th and 9th. So now he's doing the conference. I go, bet you're announcing that this weekend. You could say it to me, but I need you to say the dates while we're out at Extreme Execution, man. And he did. And you could ask, Mike and Kathy were there, bruh. And when he said it, because he was proving a point about being a grounds crew, and then he said, I just want to say, and he goes, and Ray will tell you, and he goes, I'm getting ready to put on my own event. And then he said the date, bruh, and everybody just stood up and started laughing. And right there, it erupted. Everybody started laughing, and you can see Karl like choking it back. And bruh, like I was just truly like joyful for that moment, because I feel he truly, in that moment, he felt. Okay, because we think about the types of people, he felt the love and the appreciation. Like, bro, like the whole auditorium was up, clapping, cheering.
Goosebumps. I got goosebumps, bro.
Yeah, I did too, man. I did too. It was like the whole thing just, they started cheering, and you can see like he was talking to me, like he kind of put his head down, and then he pulled it back, and just he continued to speak his point, but I had to ask him later. I go, so what did that feel like? Like I texted him, I was like, what did that feel like? I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of looking for some tears, because those are the that's me seeing, but I saw, and he goes, I was about to, he goes, but I had to finish my statement. But to see like just the growth from when I came across them, I went back to the older episode, like when they didn't even have video footage, just listening to it. And then you seeing his growth, and then you seeing like, okay, actually interacting with him, like the confidence he has when you interact with him.
Oh yeah.
I had always wanted, like, bro, I wanted the pic, because I want, in my mind, I'm like, I want to get the pictures of, before you went big, like in my head, before you, because I see where you're going, man. It's just a matter of time. And to actually be able to be a part of that, because I'm giving my gift away, because I've been reaching in and handing it out and to give it out. It's allowed me to show other people. And then when that happened, I had about 3 other people, Brandon included, was like, yo, hey, can we set up a call? Because the thing that you do is like, sometimes I don't even know. So you said that word magical. I was like, yeah, sometimes to me it's magical. And I was like, how? I don't even know. It's just like, let me just hear, what do you have for yourself? What do you want for yourself? And Mitch has been on. He's got the Mitch files, and it's great to see. He said earlier he wasn't going to, but he's going to record today. He's got his podcast. Yeah, that he started.
Well, hold on. Paul, let me pause you for a second though, because you out here, you dropping gems left and right. So let me just before I lose this train of thought, I love what you said where Karl, had his moment at Extreme Execution, and what I loved, and I was, just to wordsmith this thing. After he made the announcement, and like you said, he was fighting back the emotions, 2 things came to mind. Number 1, he's arrived. Karl Wesley Phillips has arrived. He has arrived, number 1. And number 2, and everything he's doing, and like you said, the years of service and all that he's been doing, taking everything from the inside and taking it out, now he's truly pushing past potential. I know the book is moving past potential, but he is truly pushing past potential. So the pushing past, or the moving, the MPP conference, December 8th, December 9th, what y'all are putting together. Now he is the living proof of what proximity does. He is the living, and see, for me, and I was curious about why you were gravitating towards Karl. My reason to gravitate towards Karl in 2022 at Phenomenal Life was because if it wasn't for his work behind the camera, if it wasn't for what he did with all of these videos, I wouldn't, editing, as we both know, editing and making the video hit with the music, with the messaging, with all the B-roll. Bro, I was like, Karl, I ain't never seen you before, but I feel like I know you because of how you know other people. I feel like I know you because of how you serve others. And so now the fact that he has officially arrived and will have his first of many conferences, his release of his book, and I'm a little not biased, but I got a lot of love for Karl because him and Danielle are communicating offline, like at Phenomenal Life. He was like, yo, Danielle needs to talk to Karl, and Karl actually put some things in motion, and for Danielle kind of set her up for some stuff. And we can't really talk about that now, but just know when it comes out, Karl will be one of the first people getting credit for what Danielle's about to pull off in 24. Let's just call that right. Because of a conversation they had. At Phenomenal Life 2023. And she was telling me all about it. And like I said, I said, I'm going to stay out of this. I'm like, yo, Karl, just let you know, Danielle might rap with you for a minute. He said to go talk to you. And he was like, come on. And then that was it. Yeah. So, man, collective impact.
That right there, man. It's like, yo, we don't want to push back. You said the conversation they had, and this is why we focus on this piece. Your intake, what prep work are you doing, the growing? Like, it's not beyond you. All the things that you want aren't beyond you, but if you can't have the conversation because you're not exposed to these types of conversations, that's where it starts. Your intake, things that you listen to, the people you surround yourself with. That's why it's so important for us to have these conversations, because as you listen to these conversations, your conversation grows, or it changes, it shifts. We don't have to say grows, we can say it changes. If I hadn't gone through this journey, this development, this mindset shift over the past 4 years, 5 years, whatever it's been, I wouldn't be able to have these conversations. And I want to say, even with you, so whatever Danielle has coming, I don't even know, so that's a secret. I'm excited about that too. But even with that, so I was watching, so after all these conversations, so now we have, there's like 5 of us now, so we're going to be, we have the cadence of we're meeting up every week up until this event starts. So now we're in that planning committee. Okay, so the idea happened. Now it's time to do some work, because it's not going to come together by itself. But I started, that part. I was okay, we're doing that. And then I was watching, I'm in their Patreon now. And the only reason I'm in the Patreon, because Karl hit me up. He's like, hey, are you in this video is not showing up. Someone else hit me up. Can you check it? And I was like, man, I'm not in Patreon. And he's like, bro, you a bum. I was like, all right, Karl. Hey, don't be operating that pilot too long, man. So he's wearing you out. But I went ahead and jumped in, and I was watching it yesterday while I was at the gym, and I was seeing him, and I was like, okay. Then it clicked, and I was like, I remember when we were talking last. Yo, Rhy, stop wearing grind gear. And Karl was rocking a Make Real Estate Real shirt. And I screenshotted it. It was the video they dropped that yesterday in the Patreon. I screenshotted it. And I sent it to Karl. I said, exactly what Mitch asked me, when's the merch coming out? He's like, well, we haven't started. And I was like, I need a design developed and done before the end of this week. No, this wasn't a question. I need a design. I go, this does not have to go on any site. This needs to be yours. And I don't want to see you wearing anything else up until this event other than yours.
Bruh, and so I'm thinking out loud, right? Live. This is how we think. This is how we strategize on this. So get the design, right? Get the shirt, get the merch. And I will say just real quick off the record, like I'm not even off the record because we're online, but Patreon, I don't even mess with Patreon, bro. But just because of S2S, I'm actually gonna look at the app and I'm gonna make sure I join. It's just because, the fact that CJ is active on Patreon, that's already worth the value. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you get the behind the scenes clips or whatever. But I will say this, man, like especially like this idea of like just say a t-shirt, for example, moving past potential. He already has an email list, right? He already has a book. Hey, guess what? Since you bought the book, we got a special offer for you for exclusive merch.
Yeah.
Buy the book, get the shirt get the merch at a special rate, right? Like the bundle, or buy the bundle, right?
Yeah.
Right. As we're just, like I said, just thinking out loud of like if anyone could be in position to continue to push past potential and move past the potential, and even get more traction and more momentum for his book and his merch, and then the conference. But he needs a driver, bro. That's why you're there. He needs a driver. He needs a pilot to drive it.
It was just cool, like just to see. And it's like the reason why that popped up was from the conversation that you shared, that you had with CJ. And it's like, yo, why is this not happening there? Like he's with them every single week. And this is not specifically about Karl. This is about us in general. CJ told you that. I saw Karl and I was like, yeah, bro, stop rocking everybody else's stuff. Where's yours? And I was like, because maybe before, if there wasn't the conference that we're working towards, and maybe wouldn't have been so important. But I'm like, no, up until that point, I don't want to see nothing else. I want people to ask where they can get that. The only way you can get that, whatever one it comes to, like we went back and forth about 2 or 3 different kind of design or just slogans, quotes, whatever. He's got that creative side, and I was like, whatever it is, people are gonna want to know where they can get it. But every time you wear it, you are reinforcing your effort and your impact. Not for everybody else. So even when you said earlier, Karl has arrived, he didn't arrive for everybody else. He arrived at the validation and confirmation of what he's done is what he felt. So he didn't arrive like everybody's like, oh, yo, he's here. It was like, yo, like for him himself, like I'm here. Like I am what Mike said, like he's so dope. Brandon Wells, like Karl is fire. Like, yo, I think that finally clicked with him. That like, man, I was like, yo, I even wanted this is where you can your style. So okay. After that day, I was like, hey, I want a pre-registration QR code tomorrow. And he's like, oh, we got it. I was like, you don't need none of that. Just give me the registration code to where they pay a deposit. And then I was talking to Moose right there, and he's like, well, what does he want? And I was like, okay, yeah. He goes, you can't be bullying him into everything. And I was like, all right. My pilot got excited. I got excited. I wanted to go faster. I was like,
it's all right. Hey, no, the good thing is though, as pilots, the idea is great, right? And it's what I tell pilots. Like I was in the training, it was crazy because when I was in my training, I would say, the chart, the percentage chart of how many people in the world on average are different, the personalities. So I do a personality corner activity, and I just list out the different characteristics, and they go to the corner that resonates with them the most. And it was exactly that. Where I had a small corner of pilots, and so I'm speaking to each of the corners in my activity, and I go to the pilots. When I get to the pilots, I'm like, "How many of you just ready to be done? You just want to know point A to point B. I want the solution." And they're just like, they all raise their hand. And here's what I told the pilots: you have the answers, you have like that directness, but doesn't mean that always has to be shared at the moment you have it. Yeah. So I said, so keep your great ideas, write them down. Once you know your staff's personalities, then you know when and how to deliver it to them. Why? Because I got page 14 or 15 or 17, the communication do's and don'ts. So I said to all of our pilots here, write it all down, have the idea, keep it. Then once you understand your staff's communication preference, then you communicate that same thing to them, and I guarantee you'll get more buy-in, you'll get more collaboration, you'll get more, they'll lean in versus lean back. And so just kind of when you said that, I was like, yeah, come on, write it down. You talking to a grounds crew, but but they need that. They need that. And so, let me reframe that. I'm sorry. It's super helpful and efficient and effective and productive when we're able to communicate in a way to the opposite of us that they understand. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. Oh, come on, this episode. I mean, collective impact, but now there's a part. I think we got to get Karl on the episode officially. We'll get him on the episode. At some point, whatever you decide feels best, maybe we can get them on so we can continue to just, promote the events.
What I'll do is just we'll do a live recording with Karl at his event. And we'll keep mentioning it once he gets everything. We can throw up a little a little preview for his event once he gets that thing going. But it's just man, it is honestly that's just one of those things. When I tell people, I was like, I don't want to see, this is where we talked about it at the Extreme Execution event about pilots. We got vulnerable. As far as figuring out who you are, why you are the way you are. Let's go back a couple decades, from the age of 0 to 7. Who are you? And I was just letting people know, I was like, hey, us as pilots, I know sometimes y'all think we have no emotions involved, and I want to let you know, we don't really care about your feelings, but we care to get you the results. We care to get you to the destination that you said. So that's why, Mitch, when I say, hey, be careful thinking out loud in front of me, because you think out loud in front of me, I want to get you to where you said you wanted to go. I truly do. I truly do. So when you say it, and you say it to me, I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? Where do you want to be? What is it that you want to do? And Janine's on here right now. Same thing. We're talking about being vulnerable and sharing your story, and maybe not doing too much. She made a comment. She's going to be running her own webinar next week, just talking about moving past the traumas and stuff that she's had a lot, because people need that. People need those tips, those tools of how to deal with certain life trauma, so they can move past it, so they can move past that problem. And repurpose it. And I say it all the time, you got to be able to repurpose your pain. It wasn't there for you to sit in it. But if I don't know the strategies or the tools, and if you have 3 and someone takes 1, that's it. That's it. But we got to be able to be open up and vulnerable enough, and also not miss the business model. We keep saying it. Give your gift away. Do the thing that is easiest to you. And what does that mean? Rhy said it right there. Sometimes it's magical when I'm sitting there giving people strategy and that directness. I don't even know what it is sometimes. I'm like, that's the spirit. That's the gift that I have. It wouldn't be a gift that if I can clearly just articulate specifically what it was. If I can write it down on paper clear, it's going to take a while. But as I go through this, I'm able to do it for others, and then at the end, I can be like, okay, hey, what is it that I did for you? Because I know where we went, but what did I do for you that you didn't already have identified, or you weren't clear on? And I can see it with other people. I can see, Rhy, he's truly the energy, the smile, the working on, I know why the social emotional learning for kids, we want to start there. That way we're emotionally mature individuals growing up. Let's do the preventative stuff.
That's it.
Let's do the root work, let's not be trimming branches that just aren't growing the right way. Let's get to the root and the base of this, and you truly have a heart for it, and the energy for it, and the love for it. And sometimes beginning, even with the Reach Academy, CJ's like, bro, you are already doing it. Just stop branding everything else. Be that brand.
Chill.
Yeah. You're like, I want to do. I'm just saying,
no,
you were already doing it, but you needed someone to be like, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no,
and you would definitely. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I was listening to Karl's book, and he's like, I don't know, I want to do this. I'm like, bro, go listen to chapter 7. Oh, what about this? Go listen to chapter 9.
Yeah.
Like I heard you saying you want this, but then you go listen to it.
Well, no,
and that's you wrote it. Go listen to it.
And that's the thing, right? It's like these are things we're already doing, right? These things are already doing. Man, that's my train of thought. Oh, here we go. So I will say this, and then we want to make sure that we wrap up soon. But I will say this. I said this at the training because again, I got to do 2 staff trainings. One was with 40 staff, the other was with 250 staff, and they all got assessments. Because I'm working with them throughout the year. I'm walking with them. That's the whole point is to create transformational leaders. Now, here's one thing that I was sharing on why EQ. Oh, there it is. Because you said SEL, social emotional learning, EQ at a young age, formative age. We give them these skills so that they can, activate empathy, active listening, self-regulate, right? Manage their emotions, emotional resilience. So when they don't get the news they want, or when they don't get the grade they want, when they don't get to play the game they want at recess, right? They're not lashing out, yelling, screaming, fighting, so on and so forth. So that's formative years. But as they get older, and this is what I told all of my staff these past 2 weeks, the more we can develop our emotional intelligence, that emotional resilience, the more we can actually accept what pilots have to say. I'm gonna just pause for a moment, all right? Like, imagine a room full of 250 plus and there's a small corner of pilots. The more self-awareness we develop, and I pointed to all the other 3 corners, and we can build up that emotional resilience, and we know how to take feedback, and we know how to take direction, and we know how to separate facts and feelings, and we know how to stay clear on the mission and the vision. I said the more, then I pointed to that corner, I said the more we can have conversations with this group right here. The more we can take it, when most people right now just doesn't want to hear a pilot because pilots are super direct and demanding. They tell the truth, sometimes the hard truth. They're not ready for it because they don't have the foundation yet, which is why we want to build it as young as we possibly can. I mean, again, last night, my daughter's at a wedding right now. The person she's seeing is the best man in the wedding. Not going to put it all out there, but he's the best man at the wedding. And she's like not getting the attention she wants. Now she's a high grounds crew. So of course, like she's like in her feelings. She kind of needs, she's agreeable. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Like, what's the plan? Right? Grounds crews love to, like they're down, but they just need to know what's going on because they're not taking initiative. They're not pilots. They're not flight attendants like that. And of course, he's the best man. So best man duties, like he has to do all these other things. And then she ends up calling Danielle like, Mom, so-and-so is doing this and now they're doing that and I'm not a part of it. And she's like, Danielle's like, I'm sorry, boo, this ain't about you. This is not your wedding. Yeah. You're like, your boyfriend is the best man. What do you think he's gonna do? Just be with you the whole time while they're doing all the best man stuff or, all the groomsmen stuff? But she was like in her feels, right? Our daughter was in her feels and Danielle just high piloted on that. But I got to give my daughter credit because she said towards the end, she goes, Mom, I just called because I wanted to vent. I wasn't really trying to get your real talk right now. I just wanted someone to talk to. And I looked at Danielle because she was on speaker. I looked at Danielle. I was like, I was giving her and I text Danielle, just let her talk. Like, just let her get it out because that's what she needs right now. And it ended up being a, again, productive conversation. But the more we can build the EQ, the more fruitful the conversations and relationships with the pilot personalities we have. And the last final nugget I got to say, because you were talking about it, came up when you said the word arrive. When I said arrived earlier, before you can arrive for others, you got to arrive for yourself. Before you arrive for others, and what you said was key. Karl arrived for himself. In that moment, he arrived for himself so that he can arrive for others. So yeah, man, so many gems here, and we're gonna keep the conversation going in a couple of days. But yes, y'all, Ray, final thoughts, final words. Again, collaborative impact, and that's all this episode has really been focused on, and just noticing all the results that we've been sharing, all the results that have been coming our way, all the obstacles that have come our way that we've overcome and that we're overcoming. has only happened because of the collective efforts of the community, the willingness to learn, the willingness to listen, the willingness to be coached, the willingness to try new things, the willingness to put others first. It's all collective. All right, Ray, take us out, my friend, my bro.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such a fruitful conversation, bro. Like, I don't know if there's anything huge that I really want to say just because of that piece, but I mean, it is just, for me personally, it's just is so dope just to see the results, man, that we are getting. Not even just for us, but for others, and continuing to serve others. And sometimes, like, collaboration doesn't have to look like what everybody thinks it looks like. Like, this collaboration between you and I was in order to help and assist other people, and that's created more collaboration. It's created more people reaching out. And it doesn't have to be like a formal, hey, let's do this. But if you see that you can help somebody, and you see that you can serve them from whatever position that you are, have you been rocking with us from the get-go and you have not yet taken the flight assessment, discoveryourdisc.com. It should always be in our comments. Go take it. Because
yes,
at this point, episode 21, and if you don't know what it is, shame on you. Shame on.
The conversation ain't gonna hit that. They're not gonna hit. They're not gonna hit the way they could hit if you're not on.
Yeah. And at this point, the few, I'll give you grace as a pilot. The first few episodes. Okay, if you've listened to them all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, and we're at episode 21. You owe it to yourself to know who you are. And when you realize who you are, all of us serve from our position of that natural personality style. We all serve, but you can't serve authentically and organically if you don't know who you are. And you can't embrace who you are, and you can't arrive as you if you don't know that piece. And it's good to see when other people are like, hey, it was a good, and I'll say the word, it was a good feeling for me when Karl said that, and then other people were like, Ray, I need a pilot. Like, I need you. And I had a couple other people, we went up and had a shout out to Candace Mackey, sister, and she was like, we went and had dinner at Olive Garden before the social, and she's like, what can I help you with? Like, what is next for you? And I laid all of it out. She was like, and then just kept talking. She's like, actually, I might need to hire you. She came to me and she was like, what can I help you with? Like, what is it that, I can help you with my services? And then I let it all out. And then she's like, actually, I might need to hire you.
Come on. Collaborative impact.
And it's like, yeah, but you don't get that reach of other people needing you if you don't truly show where it is that you serve. And the only thing you can do is to figure out who you are, why you are the way you are, nurture that, cultivate that, and then be your brand.
Come on.
Be your brand. Be your brand. Reach. Be your brand. Like,
let's go.
It is so much. When you actually be your brand, what does that mean? Don't think from the businesses. You are just being yourself. You're just being yourself. Think of the flight attendant. They just want to be out there talking to everybody. Reach Academy.
Hey,
Reach Academy.
The people at Liz.
He's a flight attendant.
People at Liz were like, hey, that's a dope logo. What does it stand for? I'm like, oh, Reach Academy. They're like, oh, what is it? And like, because I'm just forming in this whole new piece, I was like, oh, we're a training program that helps, facilitators, speakers, folks who work with young people. And he was, oh, that's dope. I was like, yeah, we're an agency, so we're looking to hire people. So I was like breaking this whole thing down, and he's like, that's a dope idea, right? Even though it's not even fully formed yet, but it will be. Yeah. And that's what CJ meant. Yeah. CJ meant the more you be your brand, the more you have it out there, the more you get questioned on it, the more people want clarity on it, and it helps you either get the clarity or actually just step into it and posture in a whole different way. Just going through this, like these last 2 weeks, we'll talk about the next episode. There's a bunch of teachers, youth ministers, folks that work with youth that are like, they want more info on how they can be a part of their cohort. So be your brand.
I would have been like, sign up today. What am I signing up for? Don't worry about it. You signed up for this. Sign up today. Sign up today.
Sign up today. Anyways, fam, I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking forward to your growth as well in your learning the language seminars. I love the fact that you're going to continue to pour. Like I messaged you today after your first one. That was my daughter's birthday, actually. And I was like, yo, how's the first one? You're like, yo, it's the first one. Like first of many, because this is just reps on reps on reps on reps. So we're going to continue to get better as we're on this road to results, y'all. Road to results. As always, we want to thank y'all for rocking with us. Please be sure to share, like, and comment to the YouTube channel and the Facebook group. We are thankful for each and every one of you for every minute, every second, every comment, every question that you post. And as always, y'all, just don't grow with us. Don't go with us. Grow with us. A little rusty, grow. Let's grow, y'all. Have a blessed day, and we are out of here. Peace.